I was not the only one who laughed at Samsung's idea of a 5.3-inch smartphone at a time when 4-inch iPhone was considered too big for a phone. But I was wrong. The Note was sold in tens of millions of units that very year. And ever since that happened, that lineup has become Samsung's most premium set of smartphones to this day. The whole revolution of big screen smartphones gives some smartphone manufacturers a hard time. Even Apple, the company that once so adamantly declared 4-inch to be the perfect size for a cell phone, now makes, or should I say, had to make, an iPhone so large that it makes you look at your hands a little differently. So for Samsung, well, they brought a change, a sudden transition, changing the very concept of what a smartphone should really be. Super high resolution and full of crazy ideas. We're talking about the Note series. And this is the review of the Galaxy Note 4 after 2 years of usage. Samsung has not dropped the idea of using cheap plastic on their premium smartphones, but this time around they just switched the gear. Right out of the box you get metal, but the chamfered edges on the Note 4 feels kinda sharp, but the whole flat metal sides makes it much easier to hold the phone. The phone feels light in your hand though. This should be one of the best durable phones that I've ever tested in my whole life. It is like a beast. I mean, I have even had time when I just accidentally dropped it on an escalator, but it survived. The real deal about durability is about the paint job. After using it for about 2 years for now, the paint color of this phone just, like faded away from the frame of the phone, which, left some ugly gray of the pink, which is, like gross. The back material is somewhat similar to what we had seen on the Note 3. It's the same soft touch faux leather feel, which honestly feels fine. It's pretty durable too. Even though it's got a lot of crap for not being real leather, I mean come on, it's one of their premium smartphones, right? But although that's the case, this time around they just ditched the fake stitching look and all that stuff from before, so it's just one smooth piece now. The back cover of the Note 4, unlike the Note 5, is removable, which enables us to swap the battery on our own. Well, if you look at Note 5, it's just a beauty, a complete beauty, where Samsung introduced a new kind of design where it is all glass and metal, which just strikes out that name for Samsung, that they are not using premium materials on their premium smartphones. When I hear the word Note from Samsung, the first thing that comes to my mind is their gorgeous displays. I mean, it is a hell of a display. Now, and this particular one packs a 5.7-inch 2560 by 1440 Super AMOLED Quad HD display, which means the resolution is 2K, and it's just stunning to look at. And not to forget, it has a 518 pixels per inch density. It's crisp and clear and accurate, but the accuracy of the pixels are sometimes questioned on the Note 4 when the white pixels turns pink. It's not a big problem. Frankly, I don't know if the screen even needs to be quite this good. With the Corning Gorilla Glass 4 protecting the display, I never had to worry about minor scratches. But even though that is the case here, it's always better to have a screen guard on your so-called scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass. Well, I got my Gorilla Glass scratched within a week of usage. So it's always better to have a screen protector. Well, I use one. And again, this is just personal preferences. You can use it or not. Well, I use it because I don't want my gorgeous display to be cracked. Okay, moving on. When phones have gorgeous displays, like this one, it is quite possible to completely drain your phone's battery. But for the Note 4, it doesn't seem to take a toll on the battery. The 30 to 20 mAh battery on the Note 4 made my day complete with at least 10% battery at bedtime. With a full charge, you get at least 36 hours of streaming high-resolution video and audio, 20 hours of talk time on 3G, and up to 82 hours of music playback, or at least that is what the company boasts. For my usage, I found that the figures, to be around what the company promises us. Since Note 4 supports Quick Charge 2.0, the adaptive fast charging enabled me to get up to 30% juice in just 15 minutes of plugging in. Now, that saved my ass quite a few times. And not to forget the S Pen, which makes the Note series the Note series. It's slightly improved in terms of design, and physical button on the S Pen, well, it's super clicky and tactile, and it's highly responsive too. I have not experienced any kind of Samsung lag, and the S Pen UI is just great. Samsung here have definitely improved the pressure sensitivity on the Note 4, which is a good thing. I have used the Note 3 for some time, and coming to the Note 4, the S Pen have undergone tremendous change. It just glides on the screen. That's the feeling that I get every time I use the S Pen on the Note 4. Which brings us to our next question. How about the software, dude? Out of the box, Note 4 ran, like when I bought it, I got the Android version KitKat 4.4. And of course, you can update it to the latest Android 6.0 Marshmallow. Well, I'm more of a stack Android guy, and the whole skin on top of Android experience makes me feel sick, especially with the TouchWiz UI. If you were using Samsung's phones before, it might not be a great deal for you, but people like me who are more attracted to stock Android feel would not like the whole look of the skin. But although that is the case, the looks have undergone tremendous change too. It has changed itself to really user-friendly software, and I will be telling more about that in the coming review of the Galaxy S7 Edge. So please stay tuned, guys, for that, and please subscribe. Another thing that I have felt is that there have been very few apps that could make use of all the pixels. Of course, it's Samsung's property, and you'll get their crazy high-resolution wallpapers and whole TouchWiz UI and everything. Theirs are optimized. And again, if you were about to download a bunch of games and videos that are gonna look way better than they look on 1080p phones, just pause and play. I mean, we are still waiting for that. Well, it's not that everything will look bad, it's that the games are still scaling in 1080p. Actually, the one thing that looks better from a high resolution point of view is the web browsing. So all the text and images are gonna look very crisp and clear. The biggest selling point of the Note 4 initially was its camera. Well, I thought it was handful, because it rocks a 16 megapixel rear facing shooter and a 3.7 megapixel front facing shooter. And I gotta remind you that there is no reason to believe that the guy with the more pixels rock your world. The camera sensor size is 1 by 2.6 inches and has an aperture of f2.2 with 31mm focal length. There's also an LED flash, which is, nothing to take out at this point. In terms of functionality, it's loaded with a lot of the same capabilities we have seen in other Samsung Galaxy handsets, like HDR, selective focus, panorama, dual camera, and stuff like that. Cliche. The camera UI is also nice and clean though. It little has changed from the early models, I must say, like from the S5 and the, from the Note 3. But there are a few new models as well. Image quality is exactly what I've come to expect from Samsung's previous camera setups, particularly the Galaxy S5 and the Note 3. Samsung tunes its imaging for photos that really pop with, excellent dynamic range and contrast and very vibrant color, even outside of HDR mode. While the sharpness and clarity isn't going to have the Lumia 1020 or Sony Xperia Z3 cocking in their boots anytime soon, it's still plenty capable enough and puts much of the competition to shame. The optical stabilization does seem to make a difference both to the sharpness and the image generally, and its ability to capture decent pics even in conditions that are not exactly ideal. Once again, Samsung also makes actually capturing good shots quickly an easy process. As well as offering wide-angle selfie capture, the front-facing camera has been enhanced and uses a 3.7 megapixel sensor capable of shooting 2K videos. The camera on the Note 4 is still top-notch to this day. It still takes those stunning to look at images. The rear-facing shooter takes crisp and clear images, and not to mention, it shoots 4K video, which might not be a great deal in 2016, but it is still there. It also comes with optical image stabilization, and digital zoom is pretty dope. And for some people, smartphone cameras are all about selfies, and not to mention the situation if they have a selfie stick. Well, I must say that the Note 4 should be more of a selfie phone. I mean, there are about 5 different modes of selfies you can choose from, including the wide view or the wide selfie mode. Well, basically, it is just a panorama for selfies. And Samsung claims that they have improved the angle of the front-facing camera to 90 degrees from the previous 77 degrees. And I can see a major difference from the pictures that I took on the Note 3 and the Note 4, of course. I did a side-by-side comparison. Moving on, the rear-facing camera also have the capability of taking selfies, but it is just more of a gimmick at this point, because who want to take selfies with their rear cams if they could do it with their front cams? I mean, come on, guys. But who knows, there might be people who are looking for high resolution photos of their face. Then don't worry, Note 4 can do just that for you. The heart rate monitor, which I will come to in a moment, on the back of the device can be used as a shutter button for selfies. To be honest, that is really good feature because it just came to me in handy when I was taking a group photo, or like taking a selfie in a group. Well, I call it group photo at a wedding reception, and didn't have to set a timer or anything, and just click and it was done. To sum up about the camera, the Note 4 is easily among the best Android cameras I've ever used. It's not leaps or bounds beyond its competitors, but it's an excellent, reliable camera. The heart rate monitor on the back of the phone allows us to track our heartbeat rate, similar to taking an ECG. The results would be same, but unlike the ECG machine, it does not take continuous readings, so it does not have any practical applications at this point. But this can be used as a shutter button for your camera on this device, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can enter your HRM data, which is directly linked to the Yes Health app, which is pre-installed on the device. So you can take a cardiogram while you're running or jogging. Well, that is cool, and store it. But at this point, the heart rate monitor is mere gimmick on the Note 4. The pedometer used to track your steps, on the other hand, is pretty accurate and it can be useful. The fingerprint sensor on the home button makes it more secure and easy for us to unlock our phone. Well, for me, the heart rate monitor and the fingerprint sensors are more of a gimmick. The fingerprint sensor on the Note 4 is just not a stunner. I mean, on an iPhone or Samsung's own S7 or the S7 Edge, we just have to place our finger and you're ready to go. But on the Note 4, it's not like that. We have to keep our fingers and have to slide it through the home button. It's not easy. You got only one option with the Note 4, and that's 32 gigs of onboard storage. With support for microSD cards up to 128 gigs, still that's a fair better of space all in, so most users' needs should be catered for. The phone supports 4G LTE on different bands, including the 2100 and 2600, and 3G including HSPA+. Then there's also dual band Wi-Fi with hotspot and Wi-Fi Direct. Bluetooth 4.1 is supported along with NFC, GPS, micro USB, and it comes with MHL3 TV out, and that's useful at times. And there's also an infrared blaster for TV control. I know some of you still like FM radios on board your phones, but you're out of luck here as the Note 4 doesn't pack one here. The phone has a decent speaker on the rear panel. The quality is fine for watching films, and the mic and volumes can be pretty loud. However, being a solo setup and rear facing, it's not the best situation for multimedia. Me thinks this could be a big area for improvement for Sammy on future devices. Earlier I told you about the S Pen, but I did not mention what it is capable of. Well, when you click on the clicky tactile button that I told you about, when you click it, you get this radial pop-up menu, which is known as the Air Command, which has 4 options in it: Action Memo, Smart Select, Image Clip, and Screen Write. This radial Air Command menu was also there on the Note 3, but this time the options contained within are a little different. Action Memo remains the same and allows you to quickly scribble down notes. It's a bit like a light version of the S-Note application. Smart Select and Image Clip are both similar and are designed to allow you to screen capture and edit whatever is on the screen. But each allows you to draw and select a specific area. With Smart Select, you can drag a box, while Image Clip lets you draw a freehand shape around what you want. Smart Select allows you to share the image, send it to the scrapbook application, or collect it, which effectively saves it onto your home screen as a post-it for later access. Image Clip enables you to transform the shape of the copied image, scrapbook it, or share it. Last but not the least, Screen Write is similar to what we had seen on the Note 3. It captures a screenshot of whatever is on the display and allows you to write or draw over it, edit, crop, and share. What is a little disappointing here is the apparent loss of some features we saw aboard the Note 3. I say apparent because I concede I may have just been unable to find them, but I did have a good long look and it doesn't seem there here. Most notable is the absence of pen window, which allowed you to draw a box on the display to overlay a miniature application, for example, a calculator or even the S-Note. This further enhanced the already impressive multitasking, so to see it removed is a bit of a shame to say the least. One other cool feature worth mentioning, which is inside the S Note application, is the photo note, which, we could capture a picture of a document using the phone's camera and it'll automatically convert it to an editable image that you can write or draw over. Samsung has continued to improve its already impressive S Pen stylus capabilities. The S Pen is now much more sensitive than before, and this means handwriting and sketching are pinpoint accurate, but also incredibly smooth in operation. Depending on which pen you choose in the S Note application, you can get different results. The fountain pen is particularly good with its digital ink, making even quickly scribble notes a bit more presentable. On top of this, also you have the built-in keyboard functionality, which allows you to select a handwriting mode that will convert your handwriting into typed text, which can also be copied, pasted, and edited on the fly. This is highly accurate and useful in a wide range of situations. Although I did notice that Google's Hangouts application didn't seem to support this feature until the Marshmallow update. Which brings us to the last, yet the most important aspect of the phone: performance. As you guys probably know, Note 4 comes in two models, a Snapdragon variant and an Samsung's own Exynos variant. The one I bought was the Exynos one, which is something that I don't regret doing. The Exynos variant takes down the Snapdragon variant by a flyer. On paper, it is just a quad-core Exynos 5433 1.9 GHz processor, which frankly does a job without a lag even after using the phone for about 2 years for now, which is pretty cool. It also packs a Mali T760 GPU, so I got some real gaming experience. In general operating, it's pretty darn smooth. I had previously had reports of some juddering, but can't say I've encountered this myself. In short, the Note 4 never felt lacking when it comes to sheer processing muscle.
The only problem that I faced with the Note 4 is with the battery. Well, while I was filming this review, this phone just switched off, just like that. Didn't even give me a message that it was gonna shut down. It just switched off. And I thought it was dead at first. I tried hard resetting it, doesn't turn on. So I thought the problem was with the battery. So you guys know about the Note 7 fiasco. So I thought it was gonna explode, but it didn't. And I tried to switch it on, it didn't. I connected it to a charger, moved a few steps back, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I found out that the problem was with the battery, so after using it about 2 years from now, yeah, it's time to change the battery. So I just swapped it. Now everything's going smooth. So that is the only problem that I have with the Note 4.
So there you have it, guys. That was my experience using the Note 4. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, smash that like button and please subscribe if you haven't already. As you guys probably know by now, this is my first ever YouTube video, so please give me suggestions on how to improve my videos. Let me know that down in the comments, and please support me to create more content. Stay awesome, love you all, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive.